Old man doing a podcast. Real weirdos. We have English degrees. Real weirdos. We talk about movies for way too goddamn long. Yeah, Jeff's not here, so Alex and I are just talking about random nonsense. Fill in the time.
Yeah.
He might show up. He might not. This may go out. It may not. But we're just chilling. We're just talking about shit. We're talking about Marlon Brando on the set of Mutiny on the Bounty. Just being a wild man. Just like eating. He would row out. I was telling Alex the story about how he would row out in the middle of the night by himself to the middle of this lake and eat like a 3-gallon tub of ice cream just by himself.
Such a weird guy.
Nobody'd ever been that famous before, I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like he was maybe one of like the first, I don't want to say divas, right? But he's like...
Oh, he was a massive diva.
Yeah, like you would just...
If he would throw massive tantrums, and like if people would like say what he was doing in truth, like in the newspapers or whatever, he would try to get all litigious on them. Like he turned into a massive diva in the span of like from the early 50s to the early 60s.
Yeah, just an interesting guy. I mean, when he like applied or was drafted, excuse me, either for the Korean War or the Vietnam War, I don't know which one. He like answered the questionnaire by saying his race was human and that his color was seasonal oyster, white to beige.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude.
I mean, I like the answer race human.
Yeah.
I identify with that.
But
like, I don't,
that's what I mean,
I don't
though.
know what all that other stuff is.
Like we think of sometimes, I feel like we think of these 1940s and 50s movie stars as like through and through, thick and thin, all American boys. And some of them, for the most part, were. You know, you look at people like John Wayne. But Marlon Brando was like this bohemian, just like precursor to what the hippie movement basically would be, I guess. He would play like bongos and shit like that, like naked. And yeah, he's just, I don't know. I feel like if I was a director, my palms would be sweaty every time I'd walk up to his trailer. Like, oh shit.
Oh my god. No, you wouldn't even have a trailer. You'd have like a house that he'd make them rent out at great expense
some like
for
bungalow
like 2 days.
Assembled from like Moroccan silk or some shit. But they're filming in like Texas.
And then like, yeah, and then yeah, I don't know, man. And then he would have these massive parties that would have to be on the studio's dime. He'd take over the direction of the film. Like we were talking about Mutiny on the Bounty here. Like the director was there in name only. I think one director, the first one, just got so fed up with dealing with Brando that he just left. He's like, fuck it, I'm done. This is not my movie anymore.
That's insane.
And then they got, I forget who they got in the next, and he was just like, whatever. I guess he just like fell asleep on set because Marlon Brando would just do everything.
Imagine
He's
that.
too big a star.
Imagine like putting your heart and soul into like research and compiling a staff and crew for a movie, being the director. I mean, just imagine if it was your baby, like if you wrote and directed the film, right? And then you just quit and you give it off to some hotshot actor because he's just that hard to deal with. It would be like Quentin Tarantino just being like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. Bruce Willis, you can direct Pulp Fiction. I quit.
Oh, God. Bruce Willis. Man, Bruce Willis is another interesting conversation. You're like, what are you doing? Why are you still in movies? He clearly doesn't give a shit at all.
Yeah.
It's like the laziest actor I may have ever seen these days.
Did you see Looper?
That was one of the last ones that he tried in. That's
right?
a good movie.
That's when I gave up. Oh, I loved that movie. I thought that movie was cool. But that's when I gave up on Bruce Willis. Like after that, I was like, okay, you're done for me. Like that was great. And I hope you make movies like that in the future, but he didn't.
I think
they made like another Die Hard or something after that. And I was like,
They made a couple. I didn't see them. I know the reputation. They're just continually downward spirals.
Yeah.
It's like John McClane started out as a pretty like normal guy, and that was kind of the interesting part about him, you know? He just wanted to get home for Christmas, and he's like, I don't know. There's nothing really outlandish about what he did in the first movie, but by the time you get to the fifth movie, he's like throwing fucking jets at people. You know, like he's being a Superman. There's no character of John McClane anymore. It's just Bruce Willis playing action hero man.
Dude, that's a really good like allegory or like analogous connection to what I feel like is happening with audiences nowadays.
I might have stolen that joke from Red Letter Media, by the way. I'm just gonna say that him throwing jets at people. I'm just gonna put an asterisk there. I might have. I can't remember.
But that's what I mean. It's like the boundaries of storytelling and the actual like integrity of the storytelling is falling to the wayside because people just want to see the heroes that they love and know throw nostalgia bombs all over the screen and do everything. But what if John McClane was in the Avengers, and what if he did this, and what if he did that? And it's like, I don't know. Not every story needs to be so bombastic and humongous, right? Like,
if we did get Bruce Willis into the Avengers, though, who would he play? I mean, do you know comics enough to say characters? Because I don't know. I read like the X-Men when I was a kid. He'd be Peter Parker.
Yeah.
No,
just
we
throwing
decided,
some glasses on him.
We decided on Wiener Dog Joe, the last episode of Wiener Dog Joe, that I think that's gonna go to Christopher Walken. Actually. Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna take over as Spider-Man.
You know, I'd love to see Crispin Glover make kind of a comeback into the Hollywood sphere.
What was the last thing he was in?
The last thing I saw him in was Charlie's Angels.
I can't even remember what he looks like. I just know his name because I know movies exist.
He's George McFly, Marty's dad in Back to the Future.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah.
That tells me. Yeah, I don't know. He must be real old.
Yeah, he's up there now.
Born 1964, so
yeah,
he's like 65. That's totally an acting age. This looks like he's still in movies.
Dude, he's an interesting guy. But I did see a movie that he did, Crime and Punishment.
Based on
Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky, yeah.
It was
Real weirdos. We have English degrees.
Yeah,
we don't lean into that very much, but I don't know how. We have a book report, but it's not a book report at all. It's just two of us talking. This will be the strangest episode ever, which is a directionless book report.
I like it.
I don't think it's anything. It'll just be called Alex and Jesse Ramble for however many minutes.
Mooney on movies, right?
Mooney on movies. Yeah. I have some new movies I really need to see. French Dispatch. I still have not gotten to that yet.
Oh, I need to see that as well.
Yeah.
I need to see the new Macbeth.
We're gonna do the Macbeth if we can get recordings going. It's somehow really hard to get recordings going these days. Either it gets canceled or people don't show up. I don't know what's going on. Something in the water over in Reel Weirdosburg.
I thought that it was we were humming along there for a while, and my schedule was insane, and it was fine. And now that I'm moving and everything, but it's hitting some traction, some friction for sure.
Well, I'm here. I'm ready to record every day, any day and every day. Hashtag go check out the Jammo Risin channel for my solo reviews. That's a really long hashtag. Maybe don't hashtag that. You could probably condense that a little bit, but the spirit of the message is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to Brando, though, I just looked this up. He had 11 children.
How many wives?
3.
Married
one in 1957, divorced 59. Married again in 1960, annulled in 1968. That one he just probably went out for cigarettes and never came back.
Man, I can't imagine having one kid. I mean, it's just 11. So many fucking children. It's like a litter.
Oh, he's had 5 partners. Excuse me. Yeah. 3 married, 2 partners.
But I'm sure he was banging away on all those movie sets.
Oh yeah.
All the girls going out for the craft services, just everyone. Yeah. And I mean, in his defense, like, we cannot even begin to comprehend what it would be like to be Marlon Brando in the early 60s.
God.
Dude, I've been watching a lot of movies from this era, and every time you go into the trivia for any of them, it's like Marlon Brando was considered for this role. And you're like, no, he was not considered for every single movie. You guys all just wanted him. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably the question from every studio. So you want to make a movie. Who do you want to put in the leading role besides Marlon Brando?
Besides, yeah. Let's get some other choices going.
Paul Newman? Okay, let's give him a chance. Cool Hand Luke. Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Newman's great.
Yeah, I feel like Marlon Brando... I don't know. Who do you think is like the correlation to him in today's world?
I don't know if there is one, because you can't get away with being that anymore. Like, you just can't. I mean... Miles Teller seems like he's a gigantic asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like a Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise is his own like breed of weird though, with the whole Scientology thing.
Yeah. I think that's a totally different direction, but just as weird.
He doesn't
Definitely.
seem like he's like that kind of asshole. He's like probably a different kind of asshole. I don't know. He seems like he's generally like a nice person on set though. I have no idea. Definitely not Keanu Reeves. We all like Keanu Reeves a lot. He's cool.
Yeah, Keanu's fucking amazing.
Keanu's rad. Dude, I just saw Johnny Mnemonic for the first time.
So yeah,
I had
let's
never
talk about
seen
that.
it. I had never seen it. Let me go pee real quick, and then we'll talk about it. Whoa. All right. Jesus Christ. You here?
I am.
All right. You never have to go pee, man. It's always me. I've been doing this fasting thing. It's like I go from 16 hours off, 8 hours on eating, to like, and then I'll do 18-6.
Yeah.
Alternate days. So I'm like slamming water. Because when you're in that ketosis stage, it's like smart to hydrate, and I'm just thirsty. I'm just fucking thirsty, like all the time. So I gotta pee. But yeah, dude, fucking Johnny Mnemonic. It's some of the worst acting I've ever seen. Keanu is so bad.
Keanu Reeves is not a good actor, but that doesn't mean that I don't love him or the movies he's in. But I'm going to say it, and I don't think it's that controversial of a statement, but I just don't want people to get too memey about him where it affects their view of critical analysis of what acting and performances are. He is not a good actor. Watch any of those movies from that time period, and you see a massively struggling person in a craft that is so delicate to error that it's just, I mean, Dracula. That accent is fucking atrocious.
He's bad in Dracula. We've talked about that before. That's pretty well known.
Johnny Mnemonic.
I feel like he's better now. Like, he works really well as John Wick. Is essentially what I mean.
As John Wick. He was good as Neo in the first one.
Good as Neo in the first one. I
liked Constantine. I thought he was great in Constantine.
Dredge up the fucking resurrections again. Nobody's good in that, especially the director.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember Constantine. I keep hovering over it, and I'm like, I'll probably just watch it and do a little review of it.
It's basically a mix of John Wick and Neo.
Yeah. Play the Keanu Reeves character.
Yeah. And then, in the early 90s, you had, what is that movie with Al Pacino and Charlize Theron? The Devil's Advocate.
Scent of a Woman? Devil's Advocate.
Yes. And that movie, he plays like a Southern lawyer that comes to New York, and his accent is so bad. He took on a lot of accents, because I think for a while in the movie industry, especially in the 90s, like that was the thing. That was the thing that they thought made you a good actor, if you could do an accent.
To put on accents.
And it made for some of the worst hacking of mostly UK accents that I've ever heard. Like Tom Cruise doing an Irish accent. He sounds like just straight up like a leprechaun in the Lucky Charms commercial.
What movie was that?
Let me look this
When did Tom Cruise play an Irishman? I must know. I know Daniel Day-Lewis did, but he's great. Tom
Far and Away.
Far and Away. I don't even know what that is.
Joseph and his landlord's daughter Shannon travel from Ireland to America in hopes of claiming free land in Oklahoma. Directed by Ron Howard, May 22nd, 1992.
Ron Howard. Far and away the same year he did Few Good Men. Classic Jack Nicholson performance. You can't handle the truth. But yeah, dude, Johnny Mnemonic, I don't know, man. It was creative. I enjoyed elements of it. I think it's a movie that you probably had to see and be a fan of at that time.
Yeah.
In order for it to function.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, I feel like, are you a fan of Johnny Mnemonic?
No.
No. Okay.
Because I saw it later
when you
in
were a kid,
life.
though? Okay.
No.
That's to my point. Because I could totally see that being the type of movie that you love. That's just not very good. And I'm going to have this question for you guys about The Crow, because there are elements of that movie that are suspect to me, but I have a complete inability to look at that movie in an objective way.
The Crow?
At all. Yeah, The Crow.
Yeah.
Because I've loved it since I was 14.
Yes.
And so even moments that are probably I have no idea how to look at it objectively, I guess, is the point.
It's funny because I haven't seen The Crow in forever, and it was I liked so much about it.
Yeah,
but
careful, we are gonna do an episode, so don't spoil too much.
But I get exactly what you're saying, and it's the same way that I feel with movies like The Rock or Gone in 60 Seconds, or I mean even I'll throw it out there, Independence Day.
Yeah, you do like Independence Day.
It's just impervious to criticism for me. There's two parts of the brain that watch movies, right? There's the critical analysis one, and the one that's just like a mouth just eating a bag of candy, right? And
yes,
sometimes they coalesce with each other, and that's where the great movies are. That's the top 10s, the top 5s, you know.
But Indiana Jones incarnate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, though, there's the movies that are just I'm just shoveling it into my mouth, and I don't care what the ingredients are.
Yeah.
So I can see that with Johnny Mnemonic. I can see that with movies like The Crow, and with all of these cult kind of 90s movies that were maybe I don't know. It's hard to explain.
They do operate in this weird little sphere, especially those early 90s where you have the advent of CGI. So you have this really strange use of CGI and just weirdo characters in this pseudo punk atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's grunge cyberpunk.
Yeah, what else falls into this? I guess Blade. Blade would fall into
definitely.
This. A lot of these are based on comic books as well, or have a comic book aesthetic.
There's Blade, there's The Crow, there's I'm thinking of, I can feel the aesthetic. Hackers is one that I would throw in there.
I have not seen Hackers.
Oh, really? It definitely has that.
I know the reputation. I've seen scenes.
It's more strict cyberpunk, but it's still part of this almost grunge goth world that a lot of times involved music, not just as a soundtrack, but always as a component of the actual storyline or the subculture that they're living in. Do you remember the Batman movie where he goes and they're throwing a rave or a concert, and he has to fight all of them off? Which one was it?
Who was playing Batman?
I believe
was that a Michael Keaton one?
No, actually, I think it was Val Kilmer.
This is the Val Kilmer one. I haven't seen that in quite some time. Very, very long time. That's another guy though that I don't know. Did you see that Val documentary?
No, but I did recommend it to you, but I watched the trailer and something about it is just, I don't know, it was just tugging at my heartstrings a little too much. And then you told me you watched it, and it was
yeah, I watched it. I recommended it on the podcast 1 million episodes ago. But yeah, man, he was poised to take over the world. He could have been I think he was somebody who was operating in that Brando space for a very short period of time, where everyone wanted him to be in there, but then his ego just got out of control. Hilariously, he was in a movie with Brando. It was a gigantic disaster called Island of Dr. Moreau.
Huh.
Hilariously, from the director of Birdman of Alcatraz. which you had me watch.
Oh, yeah.
John Frankenheimer. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, like 35 years later, John Frankenheimer gets hired to make The Island of Dr. Moreau. A fucking disaster of a film.
One of the most interesting stories, I will say, I've ever read. So it's also extremely interesting that this movie was such a disaster. I've seen it, and I saw it so long ago.
I saw it like 2 years ago because I couldn't remember if I had seen it. I did. I had seen it, but yeah. Oh shit. Jeff tested positive for COVID.
Ah, you're in the clear, buddy.
Yeah.
You just got a
Forgive
reprieve.
you. We forgive you. We won't make you right. I fucked up. I am the least real weirdo 100 times on the blackboard.
Chalkboard.
Yeah.
Just like Bart Simpson stuff.
Bart Simpson, exactly. We'll have that'll be our intro for the next episode is him. Just doing that.
I never noticed for the longest time that those intros changed a little bit here and there. As a kid, like there were little details.
Oh, I thought you meant ours, and I was like, did they?
No.
Yeah.
In The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Yeah. What else you watched lately, bro?
So I went on to HBO, went through some of their series, and I'm rewatching a series called The Night Of. But we'll talk about TV at another time. Movie-wise, I rewatched Barry Lyndon twice already since the podcast.
Oh my god.
Dude,
you watched it twice
it's
again?
So
good. Another 2 times?
It's so good.
It's
I don't know what
hilarious.
it is. Like, it like hypnotizes me. I just sit there and I just can't stop staring at the, like...
If you're wondering what Alex Abair is talking about, listen to the Barry Lyndon episode, which just released. Yeah.
But
quality film from Mr. Kubrick.
I heard that movie Old by M. Night Shyamalan was like terrible, which...
Oh my god. M. Night Shyamalan made a bad movie?
I know, right?
I don't believe it.
It kind of sucks because it was fun to hate on him for a little while because the fall was just so drastic and so strange and just so like bad.
Yeah.
That now I'm like, the taste is like, it's stale and I'm over it. Like I wanted him to come back with a banger. And because that would make for a cool career, right? A guy who's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm just going to keep making movies.
I haven't seen them, but apparently Split and Glass are pretty good. People enjoyed those movies. I haven't even seen Unbreakable yet.
I haven't seen those either. I do like James McAvoy as an actor. Atonement.
James McAvoy is fantastic.
Atonement is one of my favorite movies.
It would be.
Yeah,
it fucking would be.
You've seen that movie, so you know.
No, I've read the book.
Oh.
Which is hilarious.
That's even
Who's
cooler.
in that? Is that the Keira Knightley one?
Keira
She's
Knightley.
in all those kind of movies.
Yeah, James
and she's
McAvoy.
awesome too. She's great.
Saoirse Ronan.
A huge crush on her in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, right. I mean,
Keira Knight. How do you spell Keira? There she is. Speaking of pirates, man, and can I just say, it's been a while since we've said this, but fuck Amber Heard. And it's continually disappointing that she's still in movies and Johnny Depp isn't. It doesn't make any sense. It points to a complete bonkers double standard, where if you're an abuser and a woman, I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Has the situation been resolved? Like, is it cold, crystal clear, black and white now? The dust is settled and, like, she was in the fault? Because I mean, I know that...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's, like, video and auditory evidence, and it's, like, it's just... Oh, okay, so Johnny Depp has a new film in pre-production. Let's see what this is. It's called Untitled Johnny Depp / Louis XV film. Plot kept under wraps. Director Mai Wen. One word, one name, Mai Wen. It's a mononym.
Okay.
Known for directing some movies I've never heard of. I don't know. I do not know. But that's encouraging. I'm glad that he's going to do something.
I will say I think he's probably a pretty self-destructive person and a raging alcoholic. But
probably lots of cocaine as well.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
I mean, he's treating his body pretty badly, and I think he needs to be sober.
Oh, he needs to clean up for sure. Like his behavior in terms of like spending and all that stuff was apparently out of control. This is not a tabloid podcast.
Yeah,
We'll get past this pretty quick, but it is interesting to us because we like Johnny.
I do, very much, and like, I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like he hasn't done anything that's like exceptionally terrible as far as acting goes, as far as the craft of cinema goes, right? Like, is there anything that like you really don't like?
There's movies I don't like that he's in. Definitely.
Okay.
Transcendence is the most boringest thing ever.
I don't know if I ever saw that.
I don't know what happened with that. There were some generally just like I did not like Tim Burton's Alice movies or
Fuck
movie,
that, yeah.
and the sequel was even worse.
Willy Wonka was terrible too. I didn't.
Willy Wonka was fucking weird, but it's like a lot of the time I think it's down to direction, because it's like if he's bad, then the movie's bad too.
Mm-hmm.
Like The Lone Ranger was a big pile of crap.
Oh yeah, Army Hammer.
I think that he just struggled getting into like acting mode as opposed to performing mode. You know, like being a performer, and it seems like the last few years he tried to get into that. He's in these movies that I haven't seen but that look interesting, called City of Lies, Waiting for the Barbarians, Minamata. I need to like bite the bullet and sit down and watch these things, but they look like he's trying to do like serious roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see him transcend into that phase of his career, you know?
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's like you're not going to be fucking the guy from Sleepy Hollow forever. You're old now.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the facts of life, my friend.
That's true. There is a thing with him where I feel like he was holding on a little bit to his, I guess, his youth, if you want to call it that, you know? Like exactly what you're saying, right? Like the actors, they age, obviously, in their personal and private lives, but they also age in their, you know, on-screen lives and persona. And sometimes you can see them holding on a little too hard to certain personas of a bygone era or year, you know, when shit was good for them. And look at someone like Nicolas Cage, okay? The way he's...
The Cage.
I knew he would come up in this discussion eventually, but because he's going to be in a movie that we're going to review soon. But the way that...
You mean The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, right?
Is that a movie?
Oh yeah, you haven't seen this? No. Oh my god. Okay, you're gonna watch the trailer right now.
Okay.
And we're gonna we'll super cut back.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go pee, because that's where I'm at. Okay, watch the trailer.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Oh no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Oh, my eyes! My eyes! Ah!
That looks interesting.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna be disappointed if that movie's not good.
I really like Javier Pena.
I don't know who that is. I know Javier Bardem.
Excuse me. Javier Pena is the name of a character he plays on a television show. His name is Pedro Pascal.
Oh, Pedro Pascal, yeah.
He's fucking
He was in a really interesting
badass.
little sci-fi movie that I can't remember the name of.
Oh.
That I saw
not
too long ago.
Is it the one with his son?
It's the one with it's him and like a little girl, I think. Let me look this up. But that's a weird Cage movie though, right? Doesn't that look interesting? Cage playing Cage as like a self-aware version of himself going on some weird adventure. It points to his level of self-awareness, I think, is the point.
I don't know, seeing movies like Pig and Mandy, not Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, Mandy especially. Holy
not
shit.
Jiu-Jitsu, but those
not
other...
Jiu-Jitsu.
Those
oh
other
god,
movies.
don't watch that shit.
The other movies.
Or do. Get drunk with your friends and watch Jiu-Jitsu. It's fucking terrible.
It's
amazingly bad.
He leans into his role fine, right? He's like the crazy old dad. But
he knows what kind of movie it is,
exactly.
So he's just having fun. Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see that. Relating this to my on-screen persona thing. What's not beautiful is watching someone like Johnny Depp cling on really hard to Captain Jack Sparrow, or like Crybaby, or any of the characters that he was when he was hot, sexy boy.
Well, Disney has decided that he is no longer welcome in the Pirates of the Caribbean films, so there will be no Jack Sparrow.
Why? Because he was too swashbuckling in real life?
No, because he had allegations of abuse, I guess. They kicked him out of that fucking Harry Potter series too.
Well, you know what? Let's kick Orlando Bloom out while we're at it too, because he abused me with his performances. So
yeah,
I think he's a terrible actor.
You think he's bad?
I do.
He was it's funny. He had a very short period after Lord of the Rings of being a leading man, right? I think the only like big one was Kingdom of Heaven, the Ridley Scott sort of sword and sandals epic.
He was in Troy.
But he wasn't like the lead.
No.
And yeah, I think that was it. There might have been some smaller movies after that, but
he was
that
in
was
one with Kirsten
Time
Dunst.
in the Sun.
A romantic drama movie about
a
father.
My favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite type of film.
About a father or like a son who was like bringing his father's ashes home or some bullshit like that. And he meets some girl and yeah, I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I found the Pedro Pascal movie I was thinking about though. It's called Prospect.
Got it.
I can't exactly remember it.
They go to like a planet though, right? That's supposed to be like a prospective new Earth. Is that it?
Yeah,
it's like a sci-fi.
Something. It's like they're there to like harvest minerals or something. They're like
it's like StarCraft.
And it's like a father-daughter team, and they meet some like pirates. It's obviously low budget sci-fi. It's obviously people wearing suits walking around in a forest on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I don't remember it super well. I rated it a 7 on IMDb, so
it's not bad.
There you go. That's my rating. No, I enjoyed it. I saw it a couple years ago now, and I see so much shit that it's hard to like remember it all the time.
That movie looks interesting. And Nicolas Cage is a perfect example of aging well in his on-screen persona, right?
Yeah, it had a rough few years there where it was just schlock.
He was stealing the Constitution and, you know.
Oh, people love those movies, though. People love those movies.
I love those. I love the first one. I didn't see the second or third. I don't remember the sequels at all.
There's only one sequel.
Okay, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But the first one I loved. I thought that it was a great, fun movie.
Do you think it... Yeah, I don't... If I've seen it, I can't remember. I know I've seen it, but probably like I saw it when it came out or something.
I did. Yeah, I saw it in theaters. I remember exactly who I saw it with.
Do you think it successfully has that like mummy energy?
Not as much, but definitely. That is definitely the energy that it has.
It's like we know we're making popcorn.
I remember the way that the night smelled when I saw that movie.
Jesus Christ.
I saw it
What the fuck?
I saw it with Shelby and Megan McClarty and Tyler Christian. And right after we walked around the pavilions, down the stairs of the Costa Canyon Shopping Center in Carlsbad, California. And we walked through all the different aisles, and I remember it was the first time I had actually tried Nutella. So, yeah, I remember that movie very well.
Jesus.
Shout out to my friends from middle school.
So hilariously specific. Yeah, if we know you're big Reel Weirdos fans.
Yeah.
Alex's friends from middle school. Do you still talk to any of them?
I mean, yeah, Shelby and Megan. They were twins. They're both married now. Have husbands.
To each other?
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be hilarious.
Moved to Alabama.
Tyler, I don't talk to as much anymore, but we were close friends. We lived next to each other.
Well, Tyler, if you're out there, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
What'd it do?
I hope life's treating you well.
Yeah. Well, maybe we've rambled? Maybe we've rambled enough for this small nonsense episode to be released.
I liked it.
Quite soon, probably.
It was all centered around movies.
Jeff Casino is released from his imprisonment and his responsibilities because apparently he tested positive for the COVIDs.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe, and we'll be back soon to talk about The Crow.
Alrighty.
Much love. Peace, love, hand grenades. Go check out Wiener Dog Joe and Jammo Risin.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Now our podcast is done, and we have to run. We know it is sad, but we had so much fun. Don't be bereft. Jesse, Alex, and Jeff will be back real soon. The Reel Weirdos. We talk about movies for way too goddamn long. Bo 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 bo.